What's going on, guys? We're here, we're live, we're ready to answer and ask questions. So let's see what you guys got. All right, awesome. Yeah, Wade, seems like you have an interesting question. I can't wait to hear what you got. How about you, Timothy? What do you got for us? Absolutely, Josh. I have quite an extensive gym routine. I uh, I like to do a lot of training that is functional exercising rather than just lifting heavy weights. And what I mean by that is I'll use light dumbbells whenever I do any of my exercises, especially legs. For instance, I'll grab 10-pound dumbbells, one in each hand, and I'll do step ups. And I'll try to do 15 to 20 of them and do 3 or 4, maybe even 5 sets of those. That way, I get my cardiovascular um, endurance to improve as well as my strength. Let's see. All right, we have some questions. Timothy. Yeah, Timothy, absolutely. By chance, do you have a field layout for that? If you could get me a field layout, I could help you with some strategic stuff. Now, as far as just basic fundamentals of a tournament, um, and it being, an early stage tournament, and it's only 3 man, you guys just need to be aggressive. Go out there and don't be afraid to lose anything, Attack and don't sit in the back. It's probably the best advice I could give you. All right, Wade. That's a tough one, Wade. To be honest with you, that drive is something you're either into it or you're not. If you don't truly love the game and love playing, which I'm not saying you don't, um, but if there's any lack of that, that's where the drive comes from. It comes from within. It comes from inside of you. That's something that you during the week you're in love with the game, so you can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop thinking about the weekend. You can't wait to get to practice. You're the first one at practice because you've been up all night waiting for that moment to come. It's kind of difficult question, I guess. Do you play competitive paintball? Do you get out there and play with, the big boys? And, let me say thank you, by the way. Did you play out at Velocity? Because I remember back in the day, I used to always go to Velocity. That was my spot. All right, Timothy. Well, the PSP Chicago layout had a very aggressive snake. And with only 3 players, there's probably not going to be a lot of shooting on the break. So I would take that snake on the break quite often. And the Dorito side was aggressive too. So you're going to want to pick to have one guy on one of the sides, obviously, because there's no back center there. And with 3 people, I think you should put 2 on the snake side, 1 on the Dorito side would be your best bet. And that snake is a long, straight one, so you just power down that. Get your guy in there and have him go all the way down, and have the guy in the tower behind him, and he'll absolutely be ready to pick up kills and help those 2 out. Well, Josh, it's a good question. This is actually an NPPL check, and this check was just part of the trophy. And at the time we received these trophies, the NPPL in Kansas City 2007 decided to declare a tie between us and Impact. This was after 5 hours at least of controversy, of a huge mix-up that the refs made the wrong call. Long story short, they ended up pulling a 1-for-1 on us at the end of a game. And in fact, we had 3 bodies alive. They only thought we had 2, so they were giving the win automatically to Impact when they should have given it to us. And back then, they did best of 3 series. And like I said, trying to make a long story short, they did a best of 3 series in the finals, and we had lost one, stalemated one, and then this one we should have won, but the refs took it away from us. And they had it on video, they had all the proof, but the league just wasn't wanting to overturn the referee's call. So there was hours of discussion with the captains, the coaches, and all this stuff. Impact knew that we should have been going into one-on-ones, which was the overtime decider for the NPPL back then. Was you play one-on-ones, best of 3. So you pick 3 players from each team. And anyway, like I said, after a lot of discussion, they come back to us and decide, well, we're going to give you guys a tie. You guys can share the prize money, share the trophies, and all that stuff. And everybody was mad. The fans were pissed, obviously. Our players were upset. I was mad. I remember wanting to go out and play. I was really upset that we didn't, I felt robbed of the chance to win a tournament. So between the Kansas City tournament and the San Diego tournament, they had decided to actually have the one-on-ones. Um, they decided to actually have the one-on-ones and find out who would be the winner for Kansas City. So this was done at San Diego, which was the very next and last event of the season. And Oliver went out first. He won. I went out second, and I won. So we ended up winning the tournament that way. And it was the first time anything like that has ever happened. So I took the check and crossed out the first or the second place, put first place, and wrote "made history." Because no one's ever done that. No one's ever seen that happen either. It was a big mess. Um, and all right, with the webcast recording everything, would you support an instant replay system? It's a good question, Josh. I would support that, but I think it would need to be more of something that the league uses to monitor their referees rather than to go back and change a call, because in paintball there's so much going on with 5 people across the board that you can't really at the end of the point go back and see that a call was made unless it's like a one-on-one or certain game-changing calls. Then maybe yes, I would agree with that. But for just any call that you want to throw out there, I think it would be really difficult to just always go back and say, yeah, maybe the ref did make a bad call, but you can't replay that entire match. So it's kind of difficult to monitor. I like the question, though. All right, let's see what Wade's got. Nice, man. Doritos are the best side of the field. We don't get all the glory moves, but I swear that's where all the work's done is over there. Yeah, dude, if you want to break up your days into a Saturday doing drills and a Sunday scrimmaging somebody, I highly recommend that. I think drills are the most important basics to paintball. They're the fundamentals that you need. My personal favorite drill, any kind of gun skills, whether it's snap shooting, running and shooting, or even laning off the break. I think gun skills are the most important thing in paintball, and if you can master those, if you can get those skills and techniques down to a T, then experience will come later the more that you play. That's why playing as much as possible is very important. You have to have that drive to want to play every single weekend, because each weekend, each point, each game, you're going to see something that you haven't seen before, and you're either going to get shot a certain way or you're going to shoot somebody a certain way, and then the next time you're put in that situation, you can think back and kind of remember like, oh yeah, this is what happened last time. I know how to act appropriately this time. So for drills, for the snap shooting drills, I recommend setting up poles. It is a great thing to do. Setting up cones behind bunkers and going 1 bunker away, shooting at it, going 2 bunkers away, shooting at the same cone, 3 bunkers away, so you increase the distance and get that muscle memory down. As for running and shooting, you can really do this anywhere on the field. Pick a target and just run back and forth, switching hands, just like that, shooting at your target, and you're going to be good. Sure, Josh. Well, it's been a long time coming. I started paintball when I was 9 years old. I started playing with my dad just for fun. Every weekend we'd go out every Saturday, and it was kind of a father-son bonding experience. And I've been competitive with everything my entire life, whether it be Nintendo or tic-tac-toe or racquetball at school, whatever it is. I've just been really competitive, and I've always wanted to win. And when I was like 12 years old, I found out they had tournaments for paintball. So I put together a 3-man team, actually. Timothy, this is for you. My first 3-man tournament. It's called Best in the West out at Velocity Paintball. And, I put together a team out there. We went out and we won the first one. And we actually ended up winning all 5 beginner tournaments that season. And the following season, I took our team. It was called Die Kids at the time. Took our team and we decided to go to the rookie division, where we struggled a little bit. We didn't win quite as much. We were, usually in the top 4, but not winning like I would like to. Spent a season there, and then the 3rd season, Mike Hinman from, he's now the LA Ironman coach, but at the time he was starting a team called San Diego Aftermath. He had called my house, and I remember wondering, how did Mike get my phone number? I'd heard stories of Mike Hinman. He was a great player back then. I think he was with Dynasty when he started Aftermath. So like, why is he calling me? But he was trying to put together this young team that he could groom and turn into a bunch of professionals one day. And he laid everything on the table for me, and it was something that I just didn't want to turn down. So I went that route, and playing with Aftermath was one of the best things that ever happened to me because Mike provided us the opportunity to play against Dynasty, multiple weekends every month. So we would always have good practices. Now, granted, we would have to get there at like 6 in the morning at SC Village to set up the field for them. But hey, they were letting us play against them and get that experience, which was great. And the first year, like we just got pounded over and over, just taking loss after loss. But it helped us. We won all of our Division 3 tournaments in the PSP that year, and towards the end we started giving Dynasty better and better practices, and I think that's the way that you obviously get better. So from a young age, I was constantly drilling. I was practicing every single weekend. Mike would have us out there every single weekend. Like, it was never a weekend off. If it was a holiday, we were out at the paintball field. And the thing is, it's not like we wanted weekends off. It was really just what we wanted to do. We really wanted to be out there playing every single weekend. That's just what we loved. All the kids on the team were hungry, so we kept doing that. Um, so yeah, then I worked my way up, went from Aftermath to the Ironmen, from the Ironmen back to Aftermath. Aftermath was supposed to merge with Infamous, played with them, injured myself, went to the Russians, and then now I'm back home with the Ironmen. So it was kind of my way up here, and you asked another question, so I'll move forward to that. Playing for the Russians and living in San Diego. Huh. Honestly, it was a great experience. I thought it was awesome. Those guys are one of the most professional organizations that I've ever seen in paintball, and they definitely set the bar for other teams as far as how a team should be ran, coached, how the players should act. For them, it's a full-time job Monday through Friday. So, um, like I said, I loved it. I actually know Josh. I never actually went over to Russia. We would fly out to the events about 2 weeks beforehand, 2 weeks before tournaments, and we would practice every single day. It would just be a grind of practicing every single day leading up to the event. So we'd fly out on like Thursday, do drills on Friday, scrimmage Saturday, Sunday, do drills Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, have Friday off, and then scrimmage Saturday, Sunday, have Monday off, do drills on Tuesday, scrimmage on Wednesday, and then the tournament would start on Friday. So that was our schedule, at least for when they were in America. And Wade. Yeah, Wade, dude, if you ever come out, shoot me a message on Facebook. If we're not friends already, just add me, and if you come out here, shoot me a message, and I'll see if we're heading out there that weekend. Camp Pendleton is usually where all the guys go. Dynasty guys go there. Excessive comes down. Impact will be coming down before the PSP. Obviously, all the Ironmen play there. So yeah, Camp Pendleton Paintball Park. It's in Oceanside. It's a great place to go. You're absolutely right, Josh. The Ironmen. I bleed for this team. I love this team, and I love all the players on this team. We've got a great group of guys. We've got a great coach. It's just one game away. You're right. I don't think any drastic changes need to happen. It just needs to happen is all it is. I think the team just needs to click. After each event, we've left in high spirits, and everybody's had each other's backs, and nobody's turned on each other. Nobody's been upset with one another. When you have a team like that and you know the goal is to move forward and win, then I think you can eventually get there and achieve that, which is what we're doing. Timothy, I don't run that part of the team. That's up to Mike Hinman. If you really want to try out, I'm sure he'll give you a chance. That's the cool thing about our program is anybody who thinks they're good enough to come take someone's spot, we're more than happy for them to come out and give it their best shot. So. Timothy, if you're serious, just contact Mike Hinman and see, if you want to come out. We'll see you out there. That comeback from surgery. Wow, it was long. Let's see. I had surgery right before World Cup. Yeah, not like Derrick Rose. Can't hate on him though. Basketball is a completely different sport, and what he does involves a whole lot more than what I do, I guess. So, My recovery was just a lot of hard work. It was every single day. I mean, I still every single day am recovering, on my knee and working on strengthening my legs and stuff like that. And it's what you need to do. Um, Josh just asked you a question about the knee surgery. Okay. Oh, all right. Wait, I see. What kind of knee injury did you have? Yeah, because mine was a torn ACL, torn meniscus, um, and the recovery was just, it was a long road. You know what you're in for. You just have to work hard at it. I ice my knee always. I back when I was recovering and was actually rehabilitating it pretty much 3 or 4 times a week. I was going into physical therapy and trying to get myself back on top and get my leg back underneath me. You know what I mean? Um, how did it actually happen both times? It just happened training. It was one of those things where my leg popped and didn't think much of it, but then I didn't have full range of motion and realized something was going wrong. My knee wasn't right, so I went and demanded an MRI, and sure enough, it was torn, and I had surgery. Fortunately, I had a good surgery, and like I said, it's just a bunch of hard work. Just made sure to stay on it and not lose focus and not give up because at the end of the day, all I want to do is play paintball. Wade, that sounds painful as hell, just like Timothy says. Um, wow. I think Wade, just keep working hard, man. Just take care of it. Whatever the doctors tell you as far as what type of care to give it, make sure you do that and some. I like to give my knee tender loving care all the time. I massage it. I do all sorts of stuff for it. So, I think that kind of stuff really helps. Um, Josh, typical week in my life. Well, I wake up, I go to the gym, I get a good workout in, I head over to Dye and help them with whatever stuff they need, help with paintball access or, see if they have any stuff going on. And then sometimes I like to go get a good workout in the evening and maintain a healthy diet, hang out with my girlfriend and see my friends. I really like to go see movies. So if there's any good movies that are out, I'll go check that out, put my sweatpants on and dye t-shirt, head on over there. I love the beach, love going to the beach. I know this is pretty generic answers, but when I'm not playing paintball, I don't really go out and party that much. I don't do much stuff like that. I kind of keep focused 24/7. And keep in mind, Josh, this is a typical week if I'm home. Most weeks I'm gone. Most weeks I'm off on a plane or going somewhere crazy. So if I'm home, that's what I'll do. Uh, Timothy, can you explain what that does to your knee? And do I prefer the Millennium or the PSP? Well, to be completely honest, both of them have their ups and downs, obviously, as anything does. I think the PSP comes out on top. The PSP, you just get the highest level of play. You get the best reffing. You get the best of everything. But the Millennium, they put on a great show. They all their fans really care about paintball. They have great refs as well. It's a tough one. It's a tough call. Both leagues are definitely high-end leagues. The PSP is just, it's the PSP, and it doesn't get much better than that. So it actually doesn't get any better than the PSP. So if I had to pick one of the two, I'd pick the PSP. Oh, wow. Okay, Timothy, yeah, I could see where that would run you into some issues. Has the doctor prescribed any physical therapy or anything like that that'll help put less stress on your ligaments? My best moment in paintball. I love telling this story. I'm glad you asked, Josh. It was 2007 World Cup. We were in the finals with the LA Ironmen, and back then it was full X ball matches, two 20-minute halves, and the finals were a best of three of the X ball matches. So we had already played the Russians. We were playing the Russian Legion in the finals. We already played them the first game. We lost, and we were playing the second game. I remember the score was tied 1-1, and it came down to a one-on-one with me versus Kirill, which I found out last year when I played with them that it was Kirill. I didn't know that this entire time. Um, but it came down to a one-on-one, and it must have been a 9 to 12 minute point, and both of us had run out of paint. We were going back to bunkers, picking up paint off the ground. I remember I started thinking, like, towards the end of it, I was like, if I find some pods that I dropped, usually there's some fresh paintballs in there, at least like 5 or 10. It's better than what I'm shooting these lopsided balls off the ground. So I went back a few bunkers and was grabbing paint. And I just remember thinking in my head, like, dude, there is no way I'm going to lose this point. There's thousands of people watching. It was the most packed World Cup I've ever seen. I was like, there's no way that I'm going to lose this point. And all of a sudden, back then, at this time, you can actually coach from the pits. So I remember hearing Nicky Cuba's voice just yell from the pit, telling me every move that Krill was making. And apparently Krill found a full pod, and Nicky yelled that to me. And as soon as Krill found that pod, he started being very aggressive, shooting and advancing all the way up to the 50-yard line Dorito. And I remember him just pounding my bunker. I was just like, took a deep breath, and I came out, I snapshot, came right back in, and I just heard everybody in the stands just go crazy. It was just like a roar. And right then I knew that I had shot him. I peeked out, and sure enough, I one-balled him right in the face, which was awesome. And I grabbed the flag and hung it. We went on to win that match 11-1. They didn't score another point after that. So that tied the matches 2-2, and then in the third match, we went on to win and won the World Cup Championship. So I think that was by far my best paintball moment. Wade, 100%, man. If you see me at World Cup, please don't be shy. Anybody who sees me, if you want to come up and say what's up, just come grab me, and that's it, dude. Just come say what up. I'm easy to approach. Sorry if I don't recognize you. So I'm very forgetful with names and stuff like that, but I'll remember a face. So just come say what's up, dude, and that won't be an issue. And Josh, one-on-ones are my thing, and it goes back to what I said about drills. I do drills nonstop, gun skill drills all the time, all day long. That's what you need to do. It's like a basketball player. They go and shoot 100 free throws, and then 100 shots from the three-point line, and then 100 shots from 2 feet behind the basket. You need to do a bunch of that. And yeah, Josh, I actually did lose one against X Factor this last tournament. I was really bummed because I hadn't lost a one-on-one in a really long time. And yeah, I lost against Archie. To be fair, it was a 4-on-1, and I ended up shooting 3 of them. They forgot about me somehow. And I shot 3 of them, and it came down to me and Archie, and damn it, he got me. But the thing is, the reason is, that I became, I like to think that I'm a better one-on-one player, and it was kind of from like a nightmare, a nightmare. I didn't have a nightmare about the Archie one, but a long time ago, it was one of my first tournaments with the Ironman in 2006. We were playing in San Bernardino against New York Extreme was their team name back then. They're not around anymore. And it came down to a one-on-one with me and one of their players, and I remember losing it, and the feeling that I had from losing that one-on-one, just letting my team down, and I think we actually lost the match too, just was horrible. I decided I was never going to let that happen again. And I truly believe if you work hard enough at something, you can be near perfect. So, but no nightmares, Josh. Honestly, Wade, I mean, it's a blessing. Like it's a tough question to ask, 'cause I guess it just comes, or to answer, because I guess it just kind of comes natural. I think it's awesome that I'm up there. What I'm most concerned with is the fact that our team hasn't been winning. That's the most frustrating thing. It doesn't really matter where I land in the rankings or the stats. The bottom line is that, our team's not winning. So, as far as dealing with how, people telling me that all these great things and reading stuff on the sites and seeing the rankings, like I said, it's cool. I just want to keep practicing and keep getting better, because I know there's some hungry kid that's looking to take my spot. And Timothy, yeah, dude, absolutely. Oliver Lang is someone I've looked up to my entire life, and I don't care if anybody has anything bad to say about him. He helps any team that he's on. He's one of the best to ever step foot in paintball. And Josh, who is my hero coming up the ranks. I've had a few. Starting out, I remember looking up to people like Matty Marshall and Todd Martinez, Davey Williamson even. this guy named Disco Pete back in the day. He always played at Velocity. I don't know if you remember him, Wade. Steve Harvey. And then more recently, Oliver Lang was a big influence. Ryan Greenspan was a big influence. I believe Alex Goldman, I look up to him a lot. He makes some crazy moves on the field. He really does make some great moves. So I've had a bunch of heroes, dude. I try to look and at all the pros and everyone who's done everything well and try to take whatever I can from them. What about outside paintball? What question are you asking, Josh? Thank you, Wade. I appreciate the compliment, man. And honestly, I think it's something time will fix. Maybe we're missing some gumption, something like that. I really don't know. It's been tough to, stand back and ask yourself like why we haven't been winning. It's tough. There's not one thing that you could point out. So that's why I do think time will fix it, and individuals just need to step up. Really, each and every one of us need to dig deeper when it really counts and pull through for each other. Um, but Josh, outside heroes is what you're talking about. Yes, Kobe Bryant is pretty much it. What would Kobe do? Is my only question in life. How would Kobe handle himself? What would he say? What would he do? That's my guy. Um, and do the Ironmen ever look for help in the pits at events? Absolutely, we always do. If anyone wants to help us in the pits, we appreciate it a lot. So we definitely 100% are always looking for helps in the pits. But all right, guys, do we have any more questions? Nope. All right. Yeah, guys, if you can, please fill out the surveys right below you. That is. Oh, hold on. I'll be trying to help you. Okay, no problem, dude. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Just please fill out those surveys so we could, get the winner for that jersey. We're giving away a Marcello Margott Ironman jersey. And share our page on Facebook, please. If you guys can do that, share Eclectic Paintball. They're trying to do a great thing for the sport. And, shoot it a share and see if we can get other people involved. There's going to be more videos like this coming from other top pros. Thank you guys for being part of this test. And see you guys next time.